Thank you for joining me today. We're gonna do some spreads on for a weekly reading for April 6th through the 12th. This is a collective reading, so this goes for all zodiacs. And first I'm gonna pull an oracle card, just one, and then after that it's gonna get like a general guidance for this week, and then I'm gonna pull 3 Osho cards, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a star spread for all of us for this week, and then I'll do a pick a card for at the end for personalized guidance. So the oracle card that I pulled for this week, what do you love about the experience of being alive? So these are kind of like meditation or writing prompts. They help give you perspective. So what do you love the most about being alive? What do you cherish the most? It'll help give you perspective and help you realize the blessings and abundance are already around you. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Osho deck, and we're going to get some guidance for April, the week of the 6th through 12th. And this is collective guidance for everyone, all zodiacs. What we need to know, what we need to grow, and what we need to let go, please. What we need to know, what we need to grow, and what we need to let go for the week of April 6th through the 12th. Okay, what we need to know, what we need to grow, what we need to let go. Thank you. What we need to know. Oops, these are all upside down. If you know about the Osho decks, they don't have reverse meanings. And I've tried to intuitively figure out what a reverse meaning would be, and it was just, there's a lot to the right side up ones as it is. So what we need to know is the Fool. Number 0, the Fool. What we need to grow, 3, self-isolation. Rainbow tears, if you see that as well. What we need to let go, inner voice, number 2. Now that sounds kind of strange. All of this seems kind of strange, but it'll all make sense once I get the meanings out there. So obviously we all kind of know what the Fool means. The Fool means basically surrendering to the divine plan and the flow of life. Sort of a return to innocence and stepping out confidently. Not careless, but more of a freedom, setting yourself free. So that's what we need to know. What we need to grow, isolation. Now this doesn't always mean exactly like go isolate yourself. We're all isolating ourselves, let's be real. But the rainbow tears, so maybe think of it in a way as, because all these meanings, whatever they mean to you, that's what means the most. Your intuition, your inner voice is what's going to tell you what you really need to know. I'm just here to help. So 3 is a creation number. So maybe turning into ourselves and breaking the ice within ourselves, because maybe we're all kind of getting cold to all of the whole situation, our collective situation that we're all going through. And the rainbow tears are all of our emotions and everything. It's cleansing, it's introspection and everything. And then what we need to let go of our inner voice. Maybe somebody's overthinking and listening to ego, which ego doesn't always mean what people assume. Ego is self-preservation. So people are protecting themselves in these times right now, and it's totally understandable, but it is different than your actual inner voice. Your ego and your inner voice are different voices in a way. It's all one, but obviously it's your inner voice is going to guide you to a lot of harmony in life, the yin and yang and everything, creating balance. And then I'm going to go through the book and actually read the meanings, because I'm still learning tarot, and Osho is one of my newer decks, so I want to make sure that you get the full message of what they mean. So what we need to know, the Fool. This card indicates that if you trust your intuition right now, your feelings of rightness, your feelings of the rightness of things, you can't go wrong. Your actions may prove foolish to others or even to yourself if you try to analyze them with a rational mind. But the 0 place, which is the number occupied by the Fool, is the numberless number where trust and innocence are the guides, not skepticism and past experience. So a lot of people are getting a little bit cynical and know it all, right? Everybody's really comfortable with thinking that they know it all. But when you release all of that, you sell your knowing for bewilderment. It is quite a blissful feeling. Okay, so now we're going to go to isolation, which is in the clouds, the minor arcana for clouds, and suit of clouds. So 3, isolation. Sorry. The rainbow-colored tears on this person's face hold the key to breaking out of the isolation. So remember that. The tears, and only the tears, have the power to melt the ice. It's okay to cry, and there's no reason to feel ashamed of your tears. Crying helps us let go of pain. They're purifying. Also, they allow us to be gentle with ourselves and with others, and finally help us to heal. They help us grow compassion. When we're upset, we can transform that energy into compassion. We are miserable because we are too often in ourselves. So what does that mean when I say that we're too much in ourselves? When you focus so much on me, and you're not giving to others, it can cause quite a bit of inner bitterness and guilt. But anyways, to be in the self, it means to be apart and to be separate. And that is isolation. And it feels cold, and it's no longer warm, and it's no longer harmonious. To be in, so what we need to grow is basically what this card is telling us that we need to grow is not to be afraid of feeling exactly what we're supposed to feel. Suppressing all of our feelings could create cracks in our soul and bitterness towards others and shame and all kinds of stuff. So what we need to grow is inner compassion, inner love, because that's when we can reflect that for others. So go ahead and cry those tears. Cry those tears, because that will break your ice and your isolation, and you will no longer feel separate from the whole. And then what we need to let go. And then inner voice, it's one of the major arcanas, and the number is 2. So whatever that numerology means to you, usually it means maybe like harmony, balance, stuff like that. I didn't even read the number. It's on page 6. Okay. So what we need to let go. There are times in our lives when too many voices seem to be pulling us this way or that, which is that ego voice that I was talking about. Our very confusion in such situations is a reminder to seek silence and centering within, and only then are we able to hear our truth. If you have found that your truth within yourself, there is nothing more in this whole existence. Ooh. If you have found your truth within yourself, there is nothing more in this whole existence to find. Truth is functioning through you. When you open your eyes, it is truth opening its eyes. When you close your eyes, it is truth who is closing its eyes. Ego may miss some things, so obviously maybe that voice isn't always the best to trust. But truth, an inner voice, is always there, even when we're not paying attention. It is always awake. This is a tremendous meditation if you can simply just silence all the voices and then listen to which one pops up, because usually that will be the inner voice. Try to understand your own mind. Be a master of your mind, not a slave to it. And let's see. Yeah, it's basically affirming through all of that and the rest of the text. But so try to silence all the rest of the layers. For me, I have many, many layers. And when I first started meditating, it was hard to tell what was what. But now I have a very clear sense of what my intuition is and what the other voices are. So what we need to let go of is probably ego and start listening to this voice. The one that's always paying attention. The one that's always there. Because that's the one we can trust. That's the truth. Okay. So that's it for the Osho deck. Thank you. Thank you. And then now I'm going to go to my Shadowscapes Rider-Waite deck and do a star spread, which will tell us the current situation for this week, the hidden obstacle or truth for this week, the strengths and structures or supports for this week, weaknesses and fears, and solution, possible solution to the situation for this week. And this is for the 6th through the 12th of April. General reading for all zodiacs. Let us get some guidance for this upcoming week of April. And tomorrow's a full moon, so make sure to do some work to release and forgive. I just want to mention that. Okay, so our now for this week, the hidden obstacle or truth for this week, strengths, structures, or supports, weaknesses or fears, and a possible solution to the situation. Thank you. Our current situation, Ace of Pentacles, and Pentacles are earth sign, and that works with finances, stability, home life, family sometimes. Okay, and then what are hidden, possible hidden obstacles or truths? 4 of Swords. Swords is air sign. And it has a lot of, thinking, thoughts, and, introspection. 4 of Swords is kind of like an rest and evaluation, resting and contemplation. And then we've got our strengths and structures or supports, which is the Knight of Wands in reverse. That's a fire. That's fire sign, which has to do with a lot of action, planning. And then our fears and weaknesses. So we've got the 7 of Cups reversed. growth, planning. Cups are emotion, love sometimes. And then our solution to the situation, possible solution to the situation, Ace of Cups in reverse. Another emotion, water, cup. Okay, let me think here. That was in reverse. Okay. So what I'm getting here is, with our current situation this week, there's a lot of focus on the seeds that we've sown and are, working hard, making plans, because we're all trying to reevaluate how we're going to survive this, both financially and emotionally, and our home lives and our families, how we're going to make this work. So that's for like this week. I can see that maybe we're doing a lot of contemplation, and maybe that's the hidden truth. Either a lot of people are wanting to go, which is that night charging in and being a little bit possibly impulsive in his actions, because that was in reverse. But it is a strength and structure. So we did have the Fool card earlier. I would probably trust your want to go charging into things, because that is in the strength and structure position. Trust your want to charge into things. However, try not to let go of this, because it is a hidden truth. We do need to be contemplating our moves and making logical decisions. Just thinking, making sure we have dreams that are grounded in reality. And then for our possible weaknesses or fears, 7 of Cups, maybe investing too much and losing out on that investment in reverse, losing out in that investment, or losing people that we love. That's maybe what I'm seeing here. Or giving more than you're receiving. That could be a possible fear, because you're working so hard and you're thinking so hard so that you can give yourself some financial stability. And hard work does pay off, as long as your dreams are grounded in reality and you're thinking clearly. So for the possible solution to this situation, Ace of Cups, something's being offered. Something's being offered here. So if you receive some kind of offering, contemplate it. Contemplate it calmly and grounded. But, communicate with them and see how that offer can benefit you, them, everyone, and make sure that you're not weighing out what can I lose, so much. But overall, we should all try to stay protected during these times, because I myself have dealt with a lot of people trying to take advantage of pretty much everything. A lot of people asking for money when, at 10 o'clock at night, they're knocking on my door. It's just very, you do got to be protective of yourself, and it's totally understandable. So I'm going to go through my notes and make sure that we get the full message behind these cards, because like I said, I am still new. Okay, so Ace of Pentacles for our now situation for this week. It's upright. So contentment, prosperity, knowing that the seeds that you have sown will bring prosperity to fruition. Your hard work will pay off. And then for our Four of Swords in the hidden truth or hidden obstacles, that one, Four of Swords, recovery, rest, reflection, because you see that figure there resting, laying on the pillow of 3 swords and holding the 1 sword and contemplating. Okay, so that's our hidden truth. Don't be don't be afraid to rest. Don't be afraid to contemplate things. It is a strength to be able to rush in and take charge of your life, but ultimately don't drain your energy, you know? So Knight of Wands in reverse for our strengths and structures. Knight of Wands. Egotistical, insecure, competitive. So right side up, it means inspired, enthusiastic, and impassioned. It's a fine line when you fall off into egotistical and, competitive. So let me try to read the other meanings, see if I can tie that in somehow as a strength and structure and support. It is good to be competitive and stay up to par, but I don't know if competitive should be the word. So let's see. 7 of Cups in reverse. So our fears or weaknesses, delusion, fantasy, resisting temptation. So yeah, seems like a lot of considering the Osho cards in the beginning, a lot of ego maybe going on because of maybe fear, because ego is self-preservation. Yeah, a delusion of losing everything you've planned for, all of your progress, a delusion. So Ace of Cups. Yeah, an offer of love, joy, spirituality. Basically ground yourself in some kind of spiritual practice, whether it be yoga or meditation, even lighting a candle a day, or lighting an incense in the morning, or whatever, taking a walk in the woods, whatever spiritual routine you can ground yourself in, take it, because ultimately that will help you see through ego and flip this back to inspired and enthusiastic instead of a thick ego. And then also you might receive an offer of love. Well, it doesn't have to be a significant other. It can also be family, co-workers, stuff like that. So you've got that going on. Love, joy, spirituality. When you're grounded in some kind of practice, it really helps you bring you back to earth and help you realize a lot of the abundance around you, which is the oracle card that we pulled in the beginning. It'll help pull you out of the delusion, the fantasy. It'll help pull you out of that delusion of losing and all of that. Try to resist the temptation to be that type of aggressive, competitive person. Because right now, we're so deep into the COVID stuff that a lot of people are clinging to whatever they've accumulated. And a lot of people are not treating others quite as compassionately as we were in the beginning. Even a lot of light workers are losing momentum And that's totally natural. That's why we need to maybe work on that, what was it? 5 of Swords or 4 of Swords? Yeah, 4 of Swords. That's why we need to kind of try to rest and recuperate ourselves, so that we're not exhausting all of our energy and sometimes even giving too much to the point where we're bitter because we're not receiving. Because, that's not the way the world works. We are receiving, we're just not seeing it because ego is clouding us. And remember, in the Osho card, ego keeps us in ice, and the rainbow tears can melt that ice. So try to remember everything. Now try to think of a number 1, 2, or 3. We're going to do personalized guidance. Personalized guidance, so think of numbers 1, 2, or 3, because we're going to do pick a card. So what guidance do people need to hear? 1, 2, or 3 for this week, the week of April 6th through the 12th. 1, 2, or 3. Okay. Card number 1. If you pick card number 1, we have King of Pentacles. A very fatherly, grounded, masculine figure, taking care of house, taking care of financials, but being loving and compassionate, giving, gentle. Let me go ahead and read up on that for you. Make sure we get the full message. Security, material success, pragmatism, stability, strength, worldly power. So the upright. When the King of Pentacles appears upright, he signifies a practical matter: finances, property, career, work, common sense, security. If he represents a real person, it's someone who's a pillar of the community, a business leader, a person of wealth, substance, perhaps your boss or father. You can depend on them for support or advice in practical areas. In a reading about money, this card shows that you're in a secure position financially, and an investment will pay off. How he's planted deep, grounded deep in there. He's deeply rooted. If the reading is about your job, the King shows success in coming to you. Your position is stable, and you use your resources wisely. In a reading about love, this card can indicate a mature, stable relationship in which you both support each other equally. Sometimes it shows a relationship based on money, status, or security. So, however that resonates for you, I hope that helped. If you picked card number 2, we've got, this is a good one. Number 8 in the Major Arcana, Strength. Kind of mastering our inner beast through compassion and kindness. Or not necessarily inner, but, some kind of, mastering and taking over control of a situation through compassion and strength and love. So, let me go ahead and read it for you. Number 8. Inner power, overcoming weakness, courage, persistence. Upright. The strength shows you're exhibiting moral courage and fortitude. You've learned to work with your instinctive nature, to listen to it, to hear its whisperings. In shamanic teachings and mythology, animals often serve us as guides and teachers to help us on our way. This card indicates you've come through difficulties and learned to rely on inner strength to solve problems. You've grown strong through suffering, trials, and tribulations. You've tamed the inner beast within you. The lesson of this card is we don't conquer our animal natures by brute force, but by gentleness and feeling our way into rapport with the instinctive side. In a reading about money, you have the inner resources necessary to succeed. Strength can mean that you are in a strong position financially, or that a venture is sound. So if you're contemplating a new venture or something, this is definitely affirming. Rely on yourself, not others, and to trust your instincts. If the reading is about your job, Strength shows that challenges have led you to discover your inner strength. Use this strength to overcome obstacles. You can handle whatever comes your way because you've learned to listen to both logic and intuition. The decision you make and the actions you take will succeed. In a reading about love, this card can indicate you've befriended your instinctive side. Now your inner drives are in harmony with your outer desires. It can suggest being patient and gentle with a partner and or yourself as you forge a strong relationship. Strong relationship. Okay, if you picked card number 3, we've got the reverse Chariot. Drive, purpose. Right side up, it means drive, purpose, direction, something taking off very, very fast. So maybe something's going a little bit slower than you had wanted, or maybe you're spiraling out of control perhaps. So let's go ahead and see what the book says. It is a major arcana card. So with major arcana, there's a lot of forces at work that are beyond us and we have little control over. So, reverse. The Chariot reverse says changes are happening so fast and you feel out of control. It may seem like you're being pulled in 2 directions at once and the stress is intense. You feel you won't be able to control the multiple factors in a given situation. You're at a crossroads. Choose your direction carefully. The more you can tune in to your own inner guidance, which is one of the cards we pulled in the Osho deck, the more control you can exert outwardly. Most likely, the solution to the problem at hand is to take the middle road when between conflicting issues. In a reading about money, you could suffer setbacks or losses due to confusion, indecision, or inattentiveness. Lack of confidence or inexperience could result in a poor choice, or you may rush into financial matter unprepared and run headlong into a wall. If a reading is about your job, competing factions may cause stress on your workplace, and if you feel incapable of controlling the situation, or things may be happening so fast that your head is spinning and you can't get your bearings. Sometimes this card says that you're being pulled in 2 directions and you can't decide which one to take. In a reading about love, conflicts or differences in opinion, lifestyle, or values can cause tension in a relationship, or a change has thrown you off guard and you don't know how to handle the situation. Sometimes this card represents romantic involvement with 2 people or a conflict between 2 things you love. Okay, so basically for the collective reading for this week, I'd say in general, forgive yourself, forgive others. Everyone's going through some serious stuff right now. We're 1 day away from a full moon. We're all seeking the same thing in different ways. We just got to respect everyone's path, including your own. It's okay to go after your dreams. It's okay to go after your life purpose and everything, but try to stay integral and not pull the rug out from under people. And also just trust and keep trusting that you're gonna make it, because we are all taken care of. We're all guided right now. The portal is open and we're all here for each other. So just try to rest and reflect and have those cleansing rainbow tears so that you can melt the cracks of isolation and stop feeling so separate. Okay, thank you, and I hope you guys have a good week. Bye-bye.